old school joints too. I like these right here.
I gotta do it different, Jay.
That's the
The
Ain't No Mountain High.
The 2 heartbeats today. Yo,
That's that.
welcome back to the Compound Dave's Compound Conversations.
Come on, man.
You know,
Second home right here, B.
so you know what? Because you been to the first one in the Bronx and like numerous projects. I mean, from music to talking about. I remember me, you, and Chris Robinson standing under the bridge.
Facts.
Across from
Shouts
the
to
dirt
Chris
bike,
Rob, man.
from the dirt bike store, talking about your next career. But when you came from the Bronx and now you've been here, we did ESPN projects, we did a lot of things. Like, what is it about the Compound and like when you see it and you seen the evolution of it, like what hits you when you think about from the Bronx now to Brooklyn, like when you see the spaces?
For me, it's always been like a home base, so somewhere I know I could just like not be judged or, you know what I'm saying? Like I could, whenever I came to either the one in the Bronx or here, it was always like a spot personally for me to just be like, all right, that's another like home, you know what I'm saying? But just to see the growth, see the space, see the way the culture is now totally involved with it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's beautiful to me, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, thank you, my God.
Word.
So yeah, Dave, most of the times for me, you know, you've been doing interviews over a decade now, but a lot of interviews to me, they only talk about the moment, clickbait, or what's currently going on, and you know, people don't get to know your story.
Right.
Even on your album, it's not almost a chronological, it's like kind of what you're going through at that moment. So for me, it's I want to be able to have interviews but talk with my friends and just people about their journey starting from the beginning.
Fire.
So when I look at, because you know, I don't even know the beginning, you know.
Right.
So I always want to start like when this little Dave, how did it start? Like, was the family, mom, dad? Was it you know, Harlem? Where was it at? Like, what was it? Who was the family around?
It was all that. It was me, my moms, my pops, my little brother Errol, my older sister Aisha up to a certain point. We was in Harlem, 1199, early. Went to Queens, like Astoria, Ravenswood. That's where I would go back and forth from Queens to Harlem, back and forth. Me and my sister got different moms.
Okay.
So at a certain age, you know what I mean? She kind of was, I think she was with her mother. But we always stayed in tune, like summertimes and shit like that. That was my plug to Maryland. That's how I ended up playing ball in Maryland, my sister. But yeah, man, I had a great upbringing. I don't feel like I had one of them upbringings like, yo, my childhood was the worst. I went through some bad, times, you know what I'm saying?
Moments.
Bad times. Yeah. Like, it wasn't always all good, but the love was always there. The music was always there. The food was always there. Just the family, like, you know what I'm saying? My cousins, my aunties, my uncles. It was always
the love was there for you.
That was there. Whether we was broke, I had a couple dollars. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel no different if my moms could cook a steak or if it was eggs and rice that night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, me and my brother kind of got to an age and understood that, like, yo, they ain't, you know what I mean? I mean, they trying to get it. Yeah. They ain't got it.
We ain't got it, but we
trying to, you know what I'm saying?
We got each other.
We got this, you know what I mean? So I never had a lack of that. And I think that's what make me be such a force in my own kids' life and my own family life today. Because I grew up like that, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
Word.
So for me, you know, you touched on something. So I got a word that I always use for my journey, which was by state. You know, I was born in the Bronx, moved to Philly. So my whole life I got a chance to go between Philadelphia and then back to Queens because my Uncle George lived in Queens. A lot of people don't know. They be confused. Like, you from Southwest, nigga, or you from the Bronx?
Just back and forth, yeah.
But what you touched on, it's almost growing up in New York is kind of like bi-state, which is Harlem and Queens. It's like two different swags, two different musics, like
10 minutes away.
10 minutes away,
like
but
how
two,
on a train be,
two
right?
different worlds, though.
Totally different worlds.
So
different lingo, everything.
Everything, different dress code. So before you even got into music, like how, because for me, you know, growing up in Queens and Philly, back and forth, it shaped me. It made me understand two different walks of life, especially when it come to music, you know.
Right.
Philly was the technical DJs. I got a chance to grow up and see Jazzy Jeff and Cash Money and all that.
Fire.
But then come back to New York and Kid Capri and Doo-Wop and they on the mic. So I was like, oh, Philly's technical, but New York is swag. So I got
Took you out that box.
It took me out the box.
Took you out that box, yeah.
Taking that you had the New York box, but with Harlem and Queens, how influential was that on your life, having Queens and Harlem at a young age?
It was dope because I feel like Harlem was always fast. You know what I'm saying? Like the talk was fast, the whole energy uptown was just faster to me than anywhere else in the city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the clothes, you know what I mean? You would always see the newest sneakers or niggas wearing them, the newest fitteds, the newest levers, niggas was putting them colors together. Like you would just see that. You know what I'm saying? Early on, Queens, niggas was in fatigues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit was fatigued out.
Fatigues, bucket hats.
You know what I mean? Like it was like more grimy. Like that was the feel. So I would go uptown and see the colors, see niggas in yellow levers with the yellow Nikes with the yellow hat to match,
the fast boots,
jumping out some yellow shit. Like what? Y'all going like? So I got to see both. You get what I'm saying? And I think it kept me like
in the middle.
You get what I mean? Like, like I'm gonna get fly, but I could be grimy. I could kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I seen that from a child.
You threw the yellow on with the fatigue.
You know what I mean?
You
gonna mix it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talking about two. These is two treacherous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just put that together. But I think I was always a student, bro. Like I'm still a student of what's going on. So I would sit and study shit. Like more than the rappers, I would study the niggas outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? How they was coming through, what they had on, what was the latest sneakers, like how they was matching that shit. So I picked up a lot going back and forth. Like, you know what I mean? A whole lot.
Fire. So you touched on the like growing up because the family was there, the love was there, the food was there. So I know an element in the household was probably the music.
1000%.
So what was the music in the house as young
in my
East,
crib?
young days?
Oh man, Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire. It wasn't no rap. I didn't grow up on rap. I got with rap. Maybe I would say like Doggy Style, Chronic, Chester. You know my cousin Chet. Chet was playing all that. So like he's older than me. So that was the first. You know what I'm saying? Then from that it went to like the Ron G mixtapes and all that uptown. Like.
So it was even growing up New York, Queens, Harlem, heavy R&B.
Yeah, all of that. Like, cause my pops come from the Motown era.
Gotcha.
My mom's, both of them, they from the 70s, 60s. They from that. So
soul.
I was listening to Anita Baker, Evelyn Champagne King, Earth, Wind and Fire, Marvin.
Luther Vandross,
Luther,
like OJ's,
it was so the Spinners, the Four Tops,
the Temptations,
the Temps. Like that's what I would, cause my moms would be doing laundry, or she Saturday morning we had to clean the crib. Before we went outside, you had to, you know what I'm saying, your room had to be clean, bathroom had to be clean.
No doubt, make the
bed.
bed.
You know what I mean? All of that had to be like some real military. You know what I mean?
Before you left the house.
Before you leave out of here, like make sure that was the. So, but in I can still think back in the midst of me making my bed or trying to just stuff my shit in my closet. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear that. I can hear what's going on playing. I can hear that was my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like my pops like all kind, Christopher Cross, sailing.
Sailing.
You know what I mean? That's my pops is one. He's the one that really introduced me to music. And then I feel like I found my own love with hip hop. I identified with it.
So you knew the samples from the crib.
I was already hearing it. Like a lot of the Bad Boy sound.
You knew
a lot of that music.
When you heard the first bars, you was like,
More Money, More Problem. I'm like, that's Diana Ross.
Oh, yeah,
I knew that because my mom was playing. She was playing that music. So I was kind of advanced to
melodies and
to the sound
samples.
of it. Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%.
So it's funny. Like every guest I bring up compound conversations. I try to design the table, for my interpretation of their world. And you were definitely. Rappers love ball, rappers love basketball players, and basketball players love rappers. And
that's a dual love. I feel like that's been like that forever.
So when did because I think what happened with a lot of us who didn't know, we only learned Dave East, the basketball side of it, when the rapper made it. You know what I mean? Because a world of us didn't know oh, he really played ball. Oh, he really hooped. Like, but when did the love and how did ball start for you?
I think the hoopers knew, but the world ain't.
Yeah, the world ain't know.
They ain't know what was going on. For me, that was my first. My pops. I you know, I don't have the memory to remember it, but my dad said he brought a basketball to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like his.
Wait, hold on.
When I was born. When I came out, they cleaned me off or whatever. He had a ball in the spittle.
So you was born with 3 balls. Yo,
that got it.
Yo,
but my pops said he brought a ball to the hospital, and they was playing jazz.
In the hospital?
In the hospital. He said the doctor was mad cool. They was playing jazz.
So you didn't know, but they knew you was gonna make it in life, like
in something. That was you know, I feel like you know, as a parent, you supposed to feel that way about, you know, that's your seed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Now, for that to actually happen, it takes some shit.
It took a lot.
Especially if you're not filthy rich, or if you're not from one of them prestigious families, or, you know what I mean? If you're really trying to make it out of them environments where everything is against you, it's a little, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little rougher. But yeah, basketball was my everything. I didn't know nothing but ball. I always loved music. So but you see, I'm tall. That was my shit.
You had the height.
I loved it, bro. That was the most exciting thing to me, because rap to me at that time wasn't that exciting. It was just the music that was on the videos, on the radio.
The style and clothing.
But in the parks would be crazy. The talk about
who's coming to play.
This one, these niggas from Brooklyn, and they like, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
That was like the most exciting shit ever for me. So what they used to say, ball is life. That shit was life to me. Like,
that's a fact.
For at least 20 years.
So when did it start though? When did was it junior high school and like
my real love, and when I realized I was nice, probably like 9th grade.
That's when it like did it click then? Like I'm really somebody. I'm
like 9th, 10th grade. I was dunking. I could shoot. You know what I mean? I was like, all right. And I was getting invited to all kind of camps and shit. So that was kind of like letting me know I was a little. That's when I was meeting these guys that been in the league the last 20 years. I was meeting a lot of them early, like, you know what I'm saying? Kevin Love, Harden, KD, like all these guys. I was seeing them like in West Virginia or fucking Vegas. Or I was seeing them
on the traveling team,
AU tournaments and all of that. So that was dope to see them that early, and now to watch niggas that won championships and all. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that was I took a different route. You know what I mean? Through the forces that, you know what I mean, how that played out. But I definitely could say I was around that heavy. Rap came late.
So for me, high school, like I played basketball 9th grade, developed asthma, started DJing, and it was like shattered. It was like, yo, but
you developed asthma later on, like
later
as you was
on,
older.
Yeah, in high school I got asthma.
I was born with asthma and got rid of it.
Smoked good weed, probably.
I don't know what it was, but when I was born, I had my mom told me I had a ill breathing problem. They had to put me in some incubator shit. Couldn't breathe, some weird breathing shit, and I guess I just
we went opposite because I developed it later. So, and for me, it was like, this is why the love for me, when people look at me and they understand, they be like, yo, he really in the basketball culture from via the N1 mixtape and stuff. But we 25 years later, and I'm still relevant in basketball culture the same way.
1,000%, right.
But it was a turning period when I developed asthma and was like, yo, it's no more ball. It was, and that's when hip hop was like, you know how you with this girl, but you know you're supposed to be with this girl? That was how hip hop was for me. I was like, oh, I can't really be with ball no more. And then I started DJing, and I started DJing in 9th grade at the same time when I developed asthma. When you knew that ball, it was over, or like that journey was like when did it transfer?
Broke my heart, Free.
Yo, don't shut it on here though.
Broke my heart, Free. That's like that first love. Like,
that's what I said.
Me? She stopped answering. She blocked me. You heard?
She blocked me.
I couldn't even. I ain't had a line though. I was damn. Yeah, that hurt. But at the same time, I was like always a real prideful person. So I ain't really want to show that.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. And my pops, my household always preached success. You know what I mean? And however you get it. So I was like, damn, what else could I do? And I had no cousins in the rap game. no friends that was making beats. Nobody had a label that I knew. I didn't know nobody as far as rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bumped into Wayno.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I bumped into my big brother, Bully. Bully knew all of the,
Everybody.
He knew everybody.
Yep.
So Bully could put me in the room, had me next to this one, had me next to that one to see what was going on. So that was, to me, the first real, like, introduction to what I was about to do.
So
through Bully.
So let me go a step back because this is great. I'm such a fan of the game and the culture and being able to sit with guys like yourself, learning the journey and hearing it. So when I think of Davey as the artist, and I know so many chapters and pillars of the artist,
Right.
but it's a connection of when Dave came and I heard him for the first time. Being the half of my life from Philly, I said, this kid spits like he from Philly too.
I was in Philly every summer.
It was like, I was like, wait, okay.
Word.
He got the swag of New York.
Right.
I didn't even know about Queens. It's this, like I said, dual barrel swag. But he's chewing these bars. Like, where did this, it's some people that can just spit and they'll get, when you spit so good, they'll put them in the category of a battle rapper. But you were never that.
Yeah, I never battle rap.
Yeah, but
nope.
you have the bars that people would be like.
I studied that shit and I was around that. I was in North Philly every summer, down behind Dolphin Street.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Every summer, all the time, I would be out there. My cousin Freaky that I always rap about, Malik Carter, that passed 2014. They all from North Philly. Lil, I mean, like my some of my closest people in my life, they from North Philly. So I would be out there on a regular and hear, this is like early Meek, Dirty Brave Meek, like Joey Jihad was the hottest.
It was a
in
dude
Philly.
named Pretty Ugly.
It was Hattie, like Hattie had
Hattie,
it. Joey Jihad. At that time when I was like falling in love with that shit, it was Joey Jihad. Hattie had it, you know what I'm saying? And I would be around him, I would see it, I would, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, this is, they just had, I don't know, they flow was different. Niggas in New York been nice forever. Like, I always, no knock to nobody in New York City with the battle rap and nothing like that, but I don't, something about Philly, like when the dude in Philly would be rapping, his whole block knew every line.
Every rhyme, yeah.
Every bar, they would ad-lib the shit.
Yep.
I wasn't seeing that. Like in New York, niggas would rap their lines, the next man would rap his shit.
Yeah. It's a fact.
There, the whole block knew his whole 16. So when somebody was rapping that, it just sounded way crazier. Like, oh, everybody knew this shit.
But you know what's crazy?
Like, I'm missing something,
They
man.
didn't just know the ad-libs. They knew the lot, like 4 bars ago with you.
Nigga could take bars off, like catch his breath real quick. And his mans, you know what I'm saying? His mans knew them shits. Like, so I don't know. It was the energy. It was the energy at that time. I definitely think, I know Philly played a major part in just my delivery, my wordplay, my whole shit. Like I was a big fan of Beans, Free, Chris, that's my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was always in tune. As much as I was in tune with what was going on in New York, I was tapped into
funny
to Philly.
Hearing this now, we live the same life.
Yeah,
because
I
I know
into Philly. I was going to Max's.
Oh, you Max's.
You know what I'm saying? Delisandro. What's Delisandro?
Was you Ishka-Bibbles? Was you Ishka-Bibbles?
I don't want to. I know this is gonna get mad. I ain't a big Ishka-Bibble.
But
I'm gonna go to Max's. Like if I gotta choose between the two, I'm gonna go to Max's. Cause you know what the vibe in Max's reminded me of Harlem. You had the nigga in there with the porno DVDs.
Yep, it's a fact.
You had, you know what I'm saying?
The oils was out front.
The oils is in before you walk in. I said, oh, this like the hood. I'm getting your sandwich, and they rude. You know what I'm saying? They a little rude in there. Like, come on, what's up? What you want on your sandwich? Like, this is my type of spot.
Nah, I feel that.
You know what I mean? Word.
So now I'm glad we got to touch on that because I never think, and I never heard through your interviews that how the Philly thing connected to who you are as an artist.
Right.
But it's another thing with Philly. It's a hunger. Like you said, when you heard Meek, when Meek had the braids, it was like you heard the hunger. When you hear the Hot 97 with State Prop, you heard it was a hunger. And when you came in the game, pause, if the kids out there want to play pause, y'all know I'm an OG, so I really don't play pause that much. But
like, we're gonna get it right.
Yeah, you
We're gonna get it right.
I'm gonna change the word. You entered. Still, that's a pause though.
Right. That's crazier. But it's all good.
You you had
when I got here, man.
You had a trilogy of now Harlem, Queens, and Philly. So you met Wayno through the journey. You met Bully, but when did it click for you? Like, oh nah. Okay, I got people around that's gonna help me get my music out there, develop, the business side. But like,
Right.
nah, I'm here. I got it now.
For me,
Yeah.
I think it would probably be I did. Remember Mass Ciphers?
Yep, I remember those.
So one day I was gonna do Mass Ciphers, on the east side. It was. They wanted to do me outside. Like pause. They wanted to film me outside, doing my freestyle or whatever for Mass Ciphers. I said, look, we're gonna do it in Harlem. But it rained that day. You know what I'm saying? It rained crazy or whatever. And I was in Queensbridge at my bro Gutter crib. Shouts to Gutter. We was in the bridge chilling. We had a gallon of Hennessy. Just regular shit at that time.
Regular day.
And I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, it's storming. I ain't coming uptown. Like, I'm still in the bridge. They're like, nah, we got to get this shit. Like, y'all got a speaker? Yeah, pull up. So they met me in the bridge. I might have rapped for like an hour, bro. That's when I knew, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I got this.
Word. Like, I'm right now trying to get back to that, like, mentally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at that time, I felt like I was like, this is either this or nothing else. Like, I don't know what else I'm gonna do. Like, so I really was like, at any given moment, I could spit 90 bars, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, any given brand new shit that nobody heard. And then, like, I don't know if it was my memory at that time. I don't know. You know how to, like, life just be life. At that particular time, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, I'm super built for this shit.
So now
I'm remembering this music. I'm remembering what I wrote this morning. Like,
and it's on a different level.
You know what I'm doing it live on camera. I know this nigga's gonna see this. You know what I mean? Like, so that was my moment for me. That was like, yeah, I'm ready to do this shit.
So then when did the brand, so I like I said, I'm blessed to see your journey. Like, when did Dave East come though? Like pause. Like, when did Dave East, the name, and like, of course, the East Side, like,
right.
But that's a like, even for me, like, Compound, it was like, okay, it takes a long time to understand the name you want, the brand you want, even the FTD, flipping the NFL logo, never told you, genius, love it, from the dirt, you know what I mean? Fight to the death, if you want to use that one. I just came up with that off the top.
Fire.
Fight to the death is fire.
Don't use that, that's our shit.
Copywritten, 80-20, he gets 80% because I'll take 20. But, you've been, through your career, I love the way you brand yourself. I love the way that, you make sure your brand is represented in the right light. But how did Dave East, the name, come about, and like, and how did you stamp, even Muslim, I was like, the ways I looked at it, I was like, oh, he's Muslim, so he prays to the East. That might have been a part of, I don't even know if you looked at it like that.
I took my shahada after I had that name. That name came from through AJ, honestly. Because I was going, you see this tat, Rebel?
Yep.
That's what I was, that in my mind at first, I was like, that's my rap. I'm like, that's my shit, Rebel.
Thank God for AJ.
Rebellious. Thank God for AJ. AJ was like, I don't know about that. And I just met A at that time, but I'm like, the fuck does he know? I don't know what who is he telling me? I can't
be Rebel.
But he broke it down to me in an ill way. He was like, yo, a lot of these artists right now, if you watch what's going on, they're using their real name. Like, I think K-Dot just changed to Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
J. Cole. It was a few different people that was using their real name and shit like that. I'm like Dave, like David. My name is David. So I'm like, I don't really, you know what I mean? How cool does that? My name never was cool to me. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't knock it. That's my name. That's my pop's name. I'm a junior.
Yep.
But I just wasn't like, that ain't the coolest of names. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like, nah, Dave, you got to use your name somehow, some kind of way. And I came up with I'm like, Dave, East side of Harlem, East Coast. Dave,
couple East
there, like, you know what I'm saying? So and I would say it, I kept saying it. I would put my own Funk Flex voice on. I would put my own Clue voice on.
Like, you were saying it, how the game was saying,
how they would be, how they would be, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, that might got a little ring to it.
This might work with the game.
And I just said, fuck it, let's run with it. And you know what I'm saying? It definitely did what it was supposed to do.
So
that's
now,
my name, though. You know what I mean? My real name is David. So it was, you know what I mean?
And
it ain't too far.
Even though how you taking it still, and I don't want to jump ahead into the journey, but using your name in the Book of David 1 and 2. It's like you still finding ways to take the branding like really carefully and making it work.
Yeah, these are things that I didn't even see at that time.
Now the brand is intact, right? We got the name Dave East. Right. We got the Trinity. You know, I don't even know if you discovered it or the fans or your people, but now we got the Trinity of the artists, which is Queens, Harlem, and Philly.
Right.
The name is Dave East. The swag and everything is there. And my first introduction to you, shouts out to Wayno and Buddha. They came to the Bronx, and actually, Wayno was like, "Big bro, I want to play you some music." And they played your music. Like I said, I don't even think I ever told you the story. And I heard it, and I said, "Oh man, y'all got the new Soul Glow nigga without the Jerry curl. Y'all got the guy right now." And I said, "And he can spit."
That's fire.
You had a team already before you even entered the game.
Facts.
How was that for you, having like those people and working with Buddha and Grants, creating your own? Because you came in with a sound too.
Immediately, none of the people you just named are yes men. So they was always. I think that's what worked with me, and that's why I always got love for them, because they wasn't just telling me anything, or you know what I mean. Like they would let me know, like, nah, that ain't it. Or do this like that, or you know what I mean? Like, so I had a lot of critique around what I was trying to, before I was really able to present it to the world. It was definitely critique.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By those guys you just named, Wayno, Bully, Smiles, AJ, you know what I mean? Like Franchise, like they was definitely a major part of the sound that the world first heard from me. You know what I mean?
It's a fact. So going through that, and then, you know, because I heard it before the deal, and, you know, it was a lot of course, New York City, all the labels here, all the A&Rs, the execs, the other artists.
Right.
And it was deep because you made a left turn on the industry. You went with, and it was like a two-sided thing. I always look at things in life and marketing, left hand, right hand. It was a mass appeal deal, but then it was a Nas. And to me, I hate the word cosign. It was just, it's not a, you was what you was without Nas. It was a business.
Right.
You know, because cosigns is, nobody cosign you. They make invest their time and everything. And it's like, but you know, in a time where, like, now think about where we at now, every artist really want to be independent. Like, we didn't get the chance to hear Master P and Too Short and Cash Money. When they was saying it, us being from the East, we didn't feel it.
I was mad young at that time, but even with me, like, you know, coming out the hood, the label just sounds like,
it sound right for New York.
That's like getting drafted.
It's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you feel like I gotta get to one of these labels. Like, that's what means I made it.
Yep. With
this music. Like, if it's an Interscope, if it's an Atlantic, if
Def
it's a Def Jam,
or whatever. Yep.
I made it. So that's always the early. Now I feel like through all this time, now the independent route seem. I mean, you've had a lot of top artists speak up for the independent route and what be happening at them labels. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think now the mindset has definitely transitioned for the newer generation.
Independence.
But 10 years ago, the label was like, that's where you wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? For me.
But when I even look at your path, though, you chose Mass Appeal. You had your team. You chose Mass Appeal. You chose Nas. What was that experience for you? Because, like you said, you was hearing. I don't really remember who was getting. That might have been the time of the J. Coles and the K. Dots and the. They
was already lit. They had like that cult following.
Okay.
That was, I mean, that's because I can remember, you know what I mean? But that was like early Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? Like early J. Cole, a lot of that was early. But I felt like, you know, Nas is my favorite,
MC.
You know what I mean? Like one of the, from the music to the style to the, just him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just somebody that from a child I kind of idolized and kind of was inspired by. So to do it organically, you get what I'm saying? Like he ain't pulled me up on no internet. I was in the hood with Jungle. He was. That's how he found out about me, from me being in Queensbridge with Left, with Jungle, with people that he, you know what I mean? That's his family. So that's how that got right to him. You get what I'm saying? So for him to actually co-sign it or get behind it or whatever you want to call it, and you know, really support it and give me my first breakthrough to this shit, that was the illest shit ever to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was it was monumental. It was, I think, especially being from New York, you don't see a lot of our legends put on new talent.
From the town.
From the town that deserve it.
Right.
From many levels, like you said, from the, this game ain't just your music. It's the
Right.
it's the swag, it's the dress,
It's a lot, bro. I tell people I know niggas that rap way better than me. But you know what I mean? Do people want to see you? Do the kids want to dress like you? Do the kids? It's so much that has, because when I think about who was my favorite people or my favorite artists, I wanted to dress like them niggas. I wanted to
talk like I use
talk
their
like
words.
everything they did. I wanted to. So if you don't really have a personality, you know what I mean, or the just the how to just a lot of people don't know how to deal with people.
People, yeah, communication.
That's a talent in itself. Just dealing with people, bro, and understanding who you are in the moment. You know what I mean? You could be having a bad day, but who cares?
That's
to the fan that may never see you again, never bump into you, but they spend their last dollar on your music.
To see you.
They spend their last dollar on your merch.
Yep.
So you gotta, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother job in itself, just dealing with people, bro. You know what I mean?
So let's go to the next phase of, it's like a graduation. Like you get from Nas to Mass Appeal, you go through your learning experiences of life there, and now you on the number one label of culture, which is Def Jam.
Right.
How was that process? Being with, independent like Mass Appeal, with your favorite artists, the swag of Nas, and now going to like the foundation of hip hop.
That was fire. That was super fire, because I had to, I asked Nas for his grace with that, like, yo, Def Jam, he was so cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, but I never wanted to cut ties with that, with the original family I came in with, which was Mass Appeal.
Yep.
But Def Jam, that was something you know what I mean? Like, since, I've been watching that since Run DMC.
Totally.
When Russell and all them was over
Russell
there. Like,
was
you know what I
managing
mean?
everything.
Like, I watched that whole DMX, Hove. I watched that whole Def Jam. Just being in New York City, I feel like that was just like a staple as far as hip hop go. So it was almost like a no-brainer as long as the business was straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now, because, like I said it earlier, I got a chance to, I was blessed to see your career, be a part of it, and, from behind the scenes. And, the day I heard your music and seen you and met you, I just knew it was more than music,
Right.
And through the journey of Mass Appeal and Def Jam, the acting came about. Like, was that ever in the vision, though? Like, I think,
Yeah.
you know your physical, how you are appeared to the world, but did you ever see yourself, being in the Beats movie and then also the Wu-Tang movie? Like, and of course, we all grew up and seen the Will Smith and Latifahs and the Pacs, and it's like the cousin of a rapper.
Right.
It's like, if I can get the right roles that fit me, but, I always used to look at rappers, I always say, like, yo, if you could remember 32 bars, you can act. But I don't think a lot of artists look at acting. It's the same thing. You even probably can do your whole album in if you could do a 45-minute show. A real movie, if a movie is an hour, you only got 20 minutes of acting.
Right.
Like, but did you ever really see, like, yo, I'm gonna make this leap? Because it happened organically.
I didn't. You know what? I always wanted to do that. I'm a big fan of movies. Always loved movies. Always was into that. But I feel like I didn't know how I was gonna get into that. Like, I feel like with rap, it was just like, I could just rap. Somebody gonna hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? If I keep getting in front of cameras, somebody gonna see me, hear this shit. You know what I mean? Like, so that was my mindset with rap. But with the acting, I feel like, and I think that's another reason a lot more rappers, I see now a lot of rappers is doing that. But I feel like for a minute, a lot of the top guys wasn't really doing that. Because I feel like it comes with a lot of, I'm one of them guys that want to be at least considered the best at what I do.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? If I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Regardless of who you put it next to or whatever, I want to be somebody that they say, nah, you know what I mean?
He does that.
He's sharp with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And with acting, you don't want to be no slack. You don't want to be no slouch with that. You know what I mean? And that takes, if not more, just as much work is the rap.
Yeah,
Most
totally.
rappers could rap in their sleep.
But
Wake up,
actors-
get right on the stage and tear it down. Like, you know what I mean? But what I feel like with that acting, you're if you're not playing a role that's just naturally you have to become who you portraying.
Who you portraying?
So that just that element of it alone takes you out of
Who you are.
and whatever your schedule been, whatever your mindset been, you gotta become this person for however many months that you filming. Luckily for me, Beats, I was kind of me.
Yeah.
Method Man, you know what I mean? With Wu-Tang, that's somebody I always looked up to, somebody I always inspired to move like, you know what I'm saying? So that wasn't really hard, you know what I mean?
It was still in the character of who you are
Of me.
as a person and an artist.
Yeah, 100%.
No, I think the roles that you played are both organic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you represented it very close to who you are as your own character, and not a character as a gimmick, but a character in life.
Right, 100%. And you know what's crazy? That's what Meth told me. He said, yo, I know you playing me, but do that shit your way. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as you can, because he said they casted you because they want to see you.
No, that's a fact.
You playing the role of me, but they want to see you. So at any time, do your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
So
funny.
I kept that in mind.
From, like, because I've been there since the start, your name came up in so many other calls and marketing worlds of acting that, if I can't close the deal, I don't bring it up. You know what I mean? Nobody want to hear, I might got this for you. But like, it was very early on that I think people.
You got me right in that loop, bro. Like I said, I had no, not to cut you off, I had no
clue of it.
No way to, nobody to call like, yo, I want to be in a movie. Or yo, I want to put me in that. I didn't, you get what I'm saying? Like, you gave me that introduction to that. And when I seen it, it was like, oh, I definitely could balance the two.
That's a
like,
fact.
You know what I mean?
It was. It's so many. Even like to when Shooting Stars happened, it was the talks of you being Carmelo Anthony. It's so many, because I think with your music, we said this before. It's like, I'm not used. In your words, like, I'm not known for the big hit record or the big hit singles, but you're known for being that person that is all walks of life.
Right.
So when if that's music, if that's a friend, if that's a father, relatable people can do anything. Which brings me to, like, through the journey of music, you brought the essence of, like, Tupac, Brenda's having a baby in the father lane of seeing a man, when you had your first daughter, it was a part of the world, like Khaled. You look at Khaled in the side, but you did it with a father and a daughter.
Right.
Ain't nothing cooler than being your dad. I could be mad at the world, soon as I see you, I'm glad. For you, I go hard. Can't tell me, Dave, you need to relax. Daddy chasing the bag, when I don't get to see you, it's whack. I see my eyes when I look in your eyes. I see my nose when I look at your nose. I can feel you in my soul. Feel like I knew you forever. You only 2 years old. Your father loved you, no matter the stories you get told.
It seemed like you wanted to share your music with them, your world, your life, but they became, your daughters became a part of
Everything,
but to the world though.
Right.
What showed that? What clicked in you to be like, you know what, this is what it is?
I was so excited, bro. I feel like I was, with Kyrie, that was my first child, so not that I was any less excited with my other children, but with Kai, I was like, damn, yo, I got a daughter. And the timing was different. Like, I was in the Bronx. I didn't have the money yet. I didn't, you know what I mean? It was a lot of things that didn't happen yet, and she was 6 months. She was on her way, you know what I mean? So I had to really it was a little panic there for me at that time, trying to figure it out. Like, damn, I don't want her living where I'm at. I don't want her in the hood. I don't want her around this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I got to figure this out. And Nas, like I always say, I'm in debt to that nigga forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in the time of need, right then and there, made it happen for me. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to take that and do it up till
now.
Right now. But I feel like everything I was going through at that time, my cousin Freaky had just passed. I let everybody know that. The world knew that.
Yep.
So I got a lot of responses about from people that just lost their man or they cousin. So I got a lot of that love. So I just felt like, a lot of people just make the songs that's
about
that's
the
talking
timing
about
of
what's
the world.
going on
Yeah.
right then and there. I always wanted to talk about my world.
Your world.
Because all my favorite rappers talked about their world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nas would talk about 1,000 niggas in the bridge that nobody knew.
But
unless you was
we
from
learned
Queens.
them.
If you wasn't from Queensbridge, you ain't know these. You
Yeah.
ain't know them. And this has been going on.
Now everybody know Ill Will.
But now you, as you become a fan of him, you become a fan of who he's talking about. You start doing your homework on Jungle, this one, that
Horse,
one, that
yeah.
Horse, the whole Brave. You start to, you get what
start
I'm
learning.
saying? So I said, I'm gonna talk about me and mine.
Nah,
Me and my guys, our story is just as ill as everybody else shit that I'd have been hearing. I got homies that, you know what I mean? We didn't all did. I didn't.
We did what we
nothing
did.
I've heard was like nothing new to us. Like we was going through that same shit in our own world. So I said, why not?
Through your career, your journey, man, you know, a lot of highs, but you lost a lot of people.
Right.
You know, rest in peace to Shooter.
Uda.
You know, that was my guy. Yo, I had an ill relationship with Shooter. It's so ill, Dave. One night, I think you invited me to choir. I got pictures, man. I don't even want to get emotional, but it was, I had pictures. You know, you go through your phone, and I had all these pictures of Shooter, and I didn't even know how to send them to you because I was already emotional. And I just was like, but he was, you know, you, death hits you like dominoes. You know, and I relate because throughout, you know, our friendship and relationship, I lost my mom and lost my dad, and you was one of the people that hit me up when I went through that. But when you was going through that, and Nipsey and so many more, I think one of your favorite aunts, I think passed, grandma,
Pick, Bully,
yeah,
Block. It was a lot of people back to back. I didn't, you know, with that, bro, I didn't get even now, I never got a chance to mourn.
Yeah, the grief, yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I kind of did it through the music, kind of through, you know, social media, through posts, some here and there, you know what I mean? But I didn't really get a chance to, you know what I mean? I had to pay for Shooter's funeral out of my pocket. I never went through nothing like that. Like, you know what I mean? Up until that point, I was just going to funerals. You know what I mean? Like, but that was one of them, that was COVID around that time. It wasn't really, you know what I mean? So I had to, you know, I came out of my pocket, which I would have did for any one of my brothers at that time, same way I feel like they would have did for me.
Facts.
But, you know, it fucked the grieving up for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the same time of me trying to grasp what just happened, this is my best friend.
I'm numb, I don't feel nothing no more. No shine, no rain, no crying, no pain, no love, no hate. I don't feel it, no feelings, let me just live numb to the world. I don't know what this feeling is, I'm numb.
So let me ask you this, because it's wild for me, right? I remember I put my mom in the dirt, and the next day, I buried her in North Carolina. The next day, I literally drove back to New York, and I did a shoot with Fabulous. The craziest, I never even told the story, the craziest thing, man, I was at Rock Nation. Me, Fab, Khaled, Lenny S. was all in a meeting in the room. And I get to call my mom, just had a brain aneurysm. And I just left the room, and Khaled, Fab, and everybody was like, yo, everything. I was like, they just said my mom checked out. And I left. I literally drove straight to North Carolina. I think that happened like on a Tuesday. We buried her on a Sunday. And I came back to New York on a Monday to shoot Fab for Timberland, Converse,
I feel that shit all in my chest, bro.
and
No funny shit.
Asics, and Naturel. I had a big photo shoot, and Fab, and I remember just pushing through it. Like, you know, I wouldn't allow the pain to hit me. It was like, if I could get wins in the game, I felt like I was all right, but I don't even know to this day if I'm still all right. And
all right, between me and you, bro, and you my big bro. You ain't never gonna be all right. Mama love, like I ain't never gonna be all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm fortunate, very, very fortunate to still have my parents. But you know, them losses is like,
it's different.
you get what I'm saying? Like, we all get 1,000. I say this all the time to my homies. Get 1,000 friends. Now, you get a few that's irreplaceable.
Fact.
You can never replace them, no matter how much money you got. You can't pay for that person. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Like, once you lose that, you just got to take that on the chin.
That's what it is.
And truck through this shit. But you know, that mother, that father, you know, that's who gave you
That's
life.
different, yeah.
You get what I mean? So I personally, like, I'll never get over my bros. And you know what I mean? Certain things, you find ways to cope.
Cope, yeah.
You find ways to be inspired again. You find ways to do it in their memory. You find ways to, you know, make yourself smile at some point. But I don't think you ever get over that. I'll never get over.
You know how I said they?
None of them deaths. You know what I
say
mean?
it's a flat tire.
Yeah, I'll never get over.
You know how you drive?
Just keep rolling though.
Nah, but you know how you drive?
And you feel it.
No, it's all good. You
Right.
just driving, and then that shit just go boom.
Yeah.
And it hits you, and you got to take a minute to repair.
Yeah.
You got to pull over.
And you don't know when that's gonna do it.
You never know
It
when
could
that.
be 10 years later.
And that tire just
5 years later.
Yeah, just go out.
Cause I've had moments where, you know, right when it happened, you know, it's like your world end. You can't believe the information you're getting. But, you know, Monday comes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And Tuesday comes, and Wednesday comes, and you figure out ways. You get in the gym. You embrace your children. You embrace what you created. You embrace who you still have. Like, you just start to do shit.
You figure
like
out
for
ways.
me, I stayed busy. I got in the gym.
But on the
You know what I
music
mean?
side, because it is like, you know, for me exactly, you know, I started biking. You know, I started being on my
Gotta
bike.
take your mind off that shit some kind of way, or you like honestly when it's that close to home, it takes a part of you, and I don't care what nobody says.
It's a fact.
It takes a piece of you, and you don't know how that piece of that chunk of you that you just lost. You don't know how that's going to affect the rest of your body.
And everything. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
You don't know how
totally.
that's going to affect your mental. You don't because you wasn't prepared for that. Nobody. Even
Nobody.
if somebody told you, right? Yo, such and such is gonna leave you or die.
this date.
You be like, yeah, all right. I gotta see that. You're not going.
You don't know how to. It's no preparing for it.
You're not going because a month before that, you're not gonna put in your mind. All right, they told me next month this person gonna die. Let me prepare. You can't because then you don't believe it. Allah got the last say. So you still like, I ain't heard from big homie.
So I can't.
So I'm gonna live. We gonna live it up, live it up, live it up, live it up, and then that day come and they go. You're not prepared for that.
Nah.
You get what I'm saying? That's a loss you not prepared. I still hear niggas' voices, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like it be that deep. Like sometimes I ride in the car with no music on. You know what I mean? I can still hear it. It fuck with me. It still fuck with me. And this is you know, I'm 5 years.
Later.
Shooter died 5 years ago. Nip 6 years ago. My grandmother 3 years ago. This has all been back to back to back to back. And people that I was not Nip. You know, I met Nip later on in life, but.
Still hold a
Everybody
special
else
place.
was around me for a long
time.
time, bro. Like, where I still, you know what I mean? Like, I can still remember dapping Shooter and shit. Piecing him, how his hand felt normal. Like, I mean, all that type of shit. We was that close. You get what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I feel like them deaths, they
don't go nowhere.
Nah, it almost sometimes it be worse later. Because you've accomplished so much, or so much has happened. Like he never got to see. He only seen Kyrie. Like I have 2 daughters since him. I had Kobe. I just had Casey last summer. He seen and he loved Kyrie to death. You get what I'm saying? But you start thinking about, damn, motherfucker been gone. Like so, I've been doing all of this since I opened up a store.
Yep.
So many things I did that he
that
just,
he
you
didn't
get
get
what
to
I'm
see.
saying? He never, I know he see it, but
He's not seeing it.
he wasn't there to be
with
like,
you.
because that's a nigga that was always excited for what we had going on.
Whatever
like some
it
people
was.
come around and you already who you are. So how excited can they really be, or how genuine can that excitement be?
yeah.
They didn't help you get
to that point.
You get what I'm saying?
Shooter
So they
was-
coming around it and it's like, oh, they hype for the moment, cameras, drinks, whatever. He a nigga that would be sitting back like, boy, look at us, bro. Like, look what we doing now. Like, we was fucked up. Like, we was, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when you lose them parts of it, it's like,
It's different.
you know what I mean? It just made the
I know,
whole
'cause,
shit
you know,
different.
And Shooter never, to me, Shooter
changed everything.
He never talked, but when he talked, it was
Silent.
loud. But it was
Silent.
loud.
Yeah, he used to get mad at me. I'd be like, everyone stop whispering. Like,
Yep.
but when you heard him, you heard him.
You know, I came later in your life, and like Shooter used to come and be like, "Nah, Dave, fuck with you, free."
But you came early enough, Free, and I'm telling you this really honestly for the first time, like, and I'm gonna say it right here on the podcast, but you came early enough where you met my nucleus, bro. You met who I was. Like, of course, I went where I went, but you met what it was.
From the start.
You get what I'm saying? You was a part of what it was from the rip. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the energy, the personalities, the ideas, the style,
Everything.
That was before I could go to the Gucci store, before I could go see the jewelers and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shouts out to Jones. We was buying Uchi.
shit.
We was getting the Uchi.
It's real shit though, Free. Like
Yeah.
you was somebody that was like, all right, I gotta. You know what I mean? Because like I always tell niggas, mentors is priceless. The right mentors is worth more than money, bro. You gonna go get a bag.
Yep.
But the right mentor that could be in your life for a decade, could be in your life for 20 years, could be, and all they doing is giving you game.
Yeah.
Including you in what they got going on and trying to help navigate what you got going on. That's some priceless shit, bro.
Nah, we
You get what I'm saying?
We
Like
got a
real
little track
talk.
record, man.
Real talk, bro.
I'm proud of it, and it's
I still got my Listerine robe and all that. Like, stop playing with them, Free. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it really been a road, bro. And you always was in my corner. That's one thing I can always salute and respect about you. Like, you got motherfuckers come and go depending on your climate. If you burning up, everybody around. You know what I mean? Like, once that shit get a little
low,
get a little cool, you see motherfuckers start doing what they do. Like, you always was in my corner, bro. Like, always was in my corner, always had an idea, always told me to tell you my ideas, what I had going on.
That's a fact.
Told me what you had going on. If it was some new shit, you included me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give you your flowers right here, bro. You always did that.
Nah, thank you, my guy.
Always did that.
So I feel like I've, as my man used to say, to the east, my brother to the east, in X-Clan. And we went through the journey, you know, from the mom and dad and the music, to Queens, to Harlem, to Philly, to your children. And now, you know, Booker David, shouts out to you and the team, great concepts. And, you know, I'm marketing and branding, and like, Booker David 2 is coming on the way now. Like, and
shouts to Buddha. I don't want to cut you off, but shouts to Buddha. I'm not gonna get into the details, but my brother
is good. He's here.
Was touched by God
twice.
You hear me?
I know.
Buddha, I love you to death.
We love you to death.
I couldn't have did none of this shit without you. None of it.
And
so yeah, you know, I just want to say that. You get what I'm saying?
We need
Booker
you
David
here.
2
is coming out.
It's incredible. You get what I'm saying? And it's me rapping, but that's Buddha.
Nah, wow.
You get what I'm saying? That's Buddha. That's Grands. That's my cuz. That's them putting them hours in and really giving my sound to the world. I can rap. You get what I'm saying? But that's, you know what I mean?
You definitely, y'all have created.
Shouts to them, bro.
Y'all have created a sound. Y'all have created a feel. Y'all have created a soundtrack to your life, and
can't duplicate it.
Definitely
can't copy it.
Can't copy it. Can't duplicate it.
That's our shit.
And so my question is, when you look at the journey, the brand, the name, from the fragrance to FTD, the fragrance to FDT, from the dirt.
I got chocolate bars too. I forgot. Damn.
Is that a pause though? Is that a pause? I mean, I need to know if that's a pause.
Chocolate bar? No, I got real candy for kids.
Okay.
It ain't no edible.
Put the candy in it though, cause.
But chocolate candy bar.
There we go. Nah, that's all
chocolate
good.
Bar was. Hey yo. Nah, really. You know what it is with me, bro? I feel like He put me in a position for a reason, bro. And anything that I could do that I always wanted to do or felt like, damn, that'd be dope if I had my own, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in a position to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? You first and foremost put me on to branding.
No,
I seen that from afar, like, son, Free putting that shit together. Like, you know what I'm saying? He getting with these brands and making them see his side of it, his vision on it.
Yeah.
Like, and these is brands that been around long before I was born.
Yeah.
So just to see you do that, you get what I'm saying? Like, to get next to these brands and your opinion matters.
Nah, thank you, bro.
You get what I mean? Like that to me, it's like I can do that too. I mean, I gotta work at it, but these are things that I aspire to do as well because these is household names, bro.
So for me to wrap it all up, man, when you look at this journey of Dave East and family and friends and independence to big labels to legends to mentors, and you know, and it's all over now, and you get to sit back and look at it, and what would you want to say to the world that this is what Dave East wanted everybody to see and learn from?
First, I would say thank you for even taking your time out of your day to even look at a nigga or listen to me or whatever. You know what I mean? I would thank him first, but I was me, bro. Like, I wasn't trying to be nobody else. I wasn't trying to front. I wasn't trying to present something that wasn't really going on. You get what I'm saying? I was just telling my story, like what I went through. I'm 36. I feel like I still got time to keep talking about what I'm talking about, but I think that's my main, you know what I mean, delivery to the world, bro. If I had to say anything, I was me through it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, however it went, ups and downs, I was never trying to create a character. I was never trying to be one way in y'all face. It's me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never put on a outfit and became somebody. Like, this was all me from a kid to playing ball, to going to jail, to getting a deal, to having kids, to jumping into the acting, to everything. This has all just been, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna let you do the movie. When I decide to do the movie, you gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
an award-winning director now.
I'm not letting nobody else do that but you.
Nah, thank you, my brother.
But honestly, it's just been, you know what I mean? I feel like without no ups and downs in this shit, what's life, bro? Like, what you really out here doing if you ain't took that L for that win to feel like a real win?
A real win, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you out here winning all the time, I don't know nobody like that.
Yeah, you gotta take
But you know, the internet make it seem like motherfucking winning all the time. But for
real.
those that go up and down, bro, you know what I'm saying? That journey is a little rugged. I speak for them. Word.
Well, nah, man, from the compound, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, man. You know that?
I love you.
My dog.